All right. Hello and welcome back. Really, the final time in what has been a long series of streams. We did the math before, and it was, I believe, 13. Because two routes of five chapters in two routes, and then Undertale in 3 streams. So, yeah, it has been a journey, but we are to the final stop. Last week when I played through the game, it was for the weird route. So we did chapters 1 through 4. Then we streamed chapter 5 normal route yesterday, which means we just have the chapter 5 weird route left to go. Not sure how long I'm going to sit here for this intro. Yesterday was really long. I don't really want to go that long. But essentially, like I did mention on yesterday's stream, and I'm only partially kidding, I think I'm honestly like fully correct, because I said at the end of yesterday's stream that today I would be able to say I streamed 11 hours in 2 days, and 10 of those hours would be yesterday. Because I think an hour is going to be long for this stream. Now, basically, what I'm going to do on this stream is I'm going to play through and complete the weird route for chapter 5, and then I am going to abort the weird route and get to a save point. That is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to play completely through an aborted chapter 5 because beyond what we are going to do, there is one scene like halfway through that is slightly different. And that is not worth making this a longer stream than it needs to be when I just streamed the entirety of chapter 5 yesterday. And so what I'm going to do is get a save on an aborted weird route, and I'm just probably going to speedrun it some other time off stream so that I have that save file. So that's the plan. And the question mark is back, in case you didn't notice. So for chapter 1, I put weird route in parentheses with a question mark. That was because chapter 1 is unchanged in the weird route. And so that was like, oh, technically it is, but is it? This time I've put the revisit with a question mark after it. That's because I'm not blind. I do know what happens. However, I have not personally played it. And so, is it really a revisit if I've never played it before? However, it's not blind, and so I'm still tempering it with that. Of course, again, not sure how long we're going to stall before we get into this, so we'll go ahead and switch scene. I did see that. It actually came out during... I didn't see because I was streaming, but it came out last night while I was playing the patch, which is the final patch before Chapter 6. Unless they find some other pressing thing. They do not have any other patches planned, and they are focusing now on Chapter 6, or they're back to focusing on Chapter 6. So, essentially, the state of the game now is pretty much final until next year. Exactly. Which, to be fair, like, the night nerf wasn't a nerf as much as a fix, even though it did make the fight easier. Now, again, I haven't played it. From my understanding, when you lose the fight, there is a bomb that appears next to the fight, and interacting with it gives you the option to either make the fight easier or make it harder. And the easier is basically what I said it would be. It shows the indicators of where they're going to explode, and then they take slightly longer to explode. I forget what the harder version was exactly. Choosing meaner causes all of the boss attacks to deal 25% more damage, as well as slightly increases the speed of a couple attacks. The bomb explosion hitbox also activates 1 frame later regardless of difficulty. So they nerfed it slightly, it seems like, but you can either choose nicer, which gives you an indication and makes them 1/6 of a second slower, or you can choose meaner and just make the fight harder. And whichever one you choose does change the cutscene at the end of the fight, which is really funny, and I appreciate them for that. So that, I think, is a good change. That, like, I think it's kind of cringe and a bit of a skill issue that they did have to nerf it. But at the same time, I think that was a good way to nerf it, and it's optional. It's kind of like the spammed in hard mode, which, by the way, I have not done. I probably should do that at some point, just because I've kind of done everything else. In case you don't know, I believe what it is there's a bug in Chapter 2 where, with the yellow soul, both Z and Enter are the same control. They both are confirm, and therefore they are both charge. And so I believe the bug is that if you hold one and press the other, it allows you to infinitely fire the quote-unquote big shots, like charge shots. And so initially, on release, that was just a bug to make the fight easier. But a couple patches later, Toby's way of responding to that was if you do it, it triggers a hard mode, where Spamton gets angry and the boss becomes harder, which is really funny. And so, yeah, I have not done that. I guess that would be the only thing, I guess, in this franchise I have not done. Partly, it's a bug thing, but it was a bug thing that has become intended, because that's awesome. But yeah, so yeah, again, I'm not sure how much there is to say before this. I'm really not sure, because we've done it all. We just have this to go. And again, I will emphasize, this will probably be a shorter stream. But I am excited to get through this. And, well, so first of all, I will say I'm hoping I will not mess it up. Because it is, from my understanding, it is a little bit difficult, or it is easy to mess up. And I know what I need to do, and I know what happens if I do mess it up. But we're gonna hope that we're not going to. That is our hope here. It's not. I am excited in that once we get through this, I will have covered the entirety of this franchise. I will have streamed all of it, and we will have done it, and I don't have to, watch the chat, hold myself like, oh, no spoilers, whatever, because we will have done everything. But I'm not really excited to play through this route, because it is so rough. But like I said, I'm not sure how much more there is to say, so we're gonna at least advance. We're gonna at least advance the chapter select. Gotta get those screens. Again, I do still wish, as I mentioned yesterday, that they did keep the unique chapter title cards. I guess it keeps it within style to do it like they do, but I don't know. So that's where we're at. This is our file. So I guess what I can quickly just do is talk about the weird route so far, because again, it's been a week. That if you remember the normal game, cool. In the weird route, it is basically anytime you are interacting with Noelle, you are manipulating her. So in Chapter 2, it is basically a Geno parallel, where you kill everything every encounter you get after you find Noelle, except you specifically do it with Ice Shock, and it culminates with you freezing Birdley, using Snowgrave, which has then become kind of the secondary, was for forever the secondary name of the route. Not much in Chapter 3, but in Chapter 4, when we're at Noelle's house, Noelle then pulls Chris aside to talk to them. They talk about Noelle talks about how Chris tried to kind of push her away from it overnight, but then you pull her back into it, convince her that it's real, and then force the thorn ring back onto her. And she does even mention in her monologue, which of course we can read because that's kind of a main point of the route, that every part of her is screaming to move, and yet she couldn't. And so, that was chapter 4. And so we are to where we are now. Where at the end of chapter 4, Chris got a call from Noelle's mother stating that Noelle was excited to see them at the festival today. And so, I think that's about it, and we are ready to go. Oof. There's the red dot. It's haunting from the first moment. Chris? Chris, are you feeling all right? I know it is the weekend, but... I'm just not touching anything, by the way. You can, but... You have not left your room all day. The festival was today, you know. The sun is going down now. If you get up now, you could still see the parade. Chris, at the very least, you should eat something. There's some honey toast on the table downstairs. I made it for you. Role reversal. Well, I will be downstairs reading. And then where's the line? I know it has been difficult without your brother. But... well... no one can make you get out of bed, honey. That's unfortunately not true. So, a lot from just that opening dialogue from Toriel. In the normal route, Chris wakes up, or at least gets up, before the sun has even fully risen, and is walking around town. Then we go to the school, then we go to the festival, etc., etc. Now, instead, the sun is starting to go down. The festival is mostly over, and Chris has forced us to stay in bed. But hey, no one can make you get out of bed, she said. They can try. They can try to stop us. But we're up. I can't even sprint, by the way. No dialogue. No interactions. Completely checked out. Still twitching, by the way. Still fighting me. A little bit. Still the bird singing, which you would associate with morning. But even still, it's late. Nope, there goes the ambience. Nope, no interactions. Can't do anything. Not even the honey toast. And it's just silent, which is very unnerving. Chris, are you alright, sweetheart? You should eat something. There's some honey toast on the table for you, alright? Maybe some festival games might cheer you up. I'm sure Susie would love to play with you. Nothing. But there's Susie. Hey, took you long enough. I mean, that's true, but that's just because I gave him away. Technically, he could have stayed if I didn't give him away in Chapter 4 and waited till Chapter 5. But, you know, it's the same choice, because Chapter 4 mostly still plays as normal, with the exception that the scene with Noelle is very different. You trying to sleep through the festival or something? Probably, yes. Noelle's waiting for you. At the beach. She, told me to get you. That's terrifying. Yeah, we already kinda hung out. Well, guess you gotta go. Still nothing. Still twitching as well. Hey, wait a sec. You wouldn't want to see the festival first, would you? Yeah, I saw everything with Noelle, but like, I still want to see how you'd react to stuff too, you know? Come on, it'll be fun. Susie, now I can sprint. Your mom should run a cart out of her car or something. She could sell, like, breakfast and, church clothes. Pretty sure there's no festival in your house. As soon as Susie is here, there's energy back. By the way, I'm pretty sure this is called Happy Town in the files. I'm pretty sure that this is what it is. Yeah, everyone's over there to see the festival king and queen. It's lame, right? I mean, like, why's it gotta be a king and queen? Whatever we are, it's cooler, right? Right? Not in a weird way, you know? Royalty schmoyalty. We rule the festival right now, right? Doing the king queen vote thing with Noelle was fun. I put down me and her, plus some extra epic drawings. See, I used a green pen for my radioactive breath. She voted before I saw hers, though. She was like super excited to write it. Again, Noelle is very much more excited. And it's like, why? Go down first. Oh hell, Chris, you're not gonna believe this. Free rolls, and honey packets, and butter, margarine, whatever. That's like basically a good sandwich. Ketchup, salt, water, that's free tomato soup. We're living in luxury. Bon appetit, right? Oh, Susie. Also notice how everything is just Susie talking. There's no dialogue options, there's no back and forth, it's just Susie talking. Hey, sweet, no one's in there. It means free grape soda, and we could wear their uniforms and pretend to work there? And take, like, pics of us standing on the salad? Susie, please. Susie, no. Number 15. Damn, it's locked. Dude, there's a pepperoni on the floor right in there. Think I can grab it with my tongue under the door? Susie, please. Susie. Damn, it's too far. That implies she tried. Oh, yeah, me and Noelle rode this. She didn't even look out the window, though. The whole time, she was just resting her head on my shoulder. Dude, my heart was beating like crazy. I don't get how she was so calm. Anyway, you want to ride the wheel? We are going to. Here's our first choice. Alright, I call shotgun. Hey, Chris. Everything good? You just seem kind of... Whoa, wait a sec. Chris, did you feel that? Earthquake. It's so cute. Susie's trying to have fun. She's trying to cheer Chris up. Damn, that was close. We almost... Oh hell, it's the aftershock. See, knew that'd make you laugh. Hey, sit over on my side. The view's better. Susie, just genuinely good friend. The view of you being in a headlock, idiot. Hey, stop pretending to snore. What am I to you guys? A big pillow? Don't nod. Aw. Phew. Guess that's about it, huh? That was pretty fun, right? That was fun. Maybe next year we can actually break it? Someone I watched described this as literally like taking like a pet to all its favorite places. It has that vibe, like the slow music, just the walking around, Susie talking, like positive memories. It's very like uncanny. It just feels bad. Hey, they got free lemon slices here. Check this out. First, you get a bunch of free lemon slices. Then, you squeeze them in free lemon water. Add some free sweetener. Then you got, like, free lemonade. Cool, right? We got that for free. This stand was kind of weird. There wasn't anyone at it today. Maybe just closed early? Beats me. Why isn't normal NPC there in the weird route? Why? Like, just why? Because he's the one selling octopus balls that taste like raw onion in the normal route. Why is he not there in the weird route? What does that mean? Like, why? I don't know. I don't know if any of the other goners were there either, but I don't know. Don't worry about it. Hey, purple water. You know we gotta sip that. Wait, stop. It's all like, fuzzy. What is this kind of mixture called? Like, heterogeneous? Honestly, though, yes. Good job, Susie. Obviously not spelled right, but, like, yeah, pretty much. What? Sure, man. Dude, no. I don't know what the hell this is. That's why you're here, to explain. Great. You don't know either. You could just say that next time. Instead of staring into my eyes. Play. Chris does nothing. I won. Chris can't even be bothered to play. Can't bring themselves to do it. If they have police tape, why don't they have police glue? I mean, I'm glad they don't, but they could. Okay, Susie. If you say so. We have to do the right side of all of these areas. But we're just going to work our way down. I see Rudy. We'll come back to him. Dude, what's your favorite horror movie? Bet you like the one with the creepy doll. Huh? Your brother never wanted to watch them? What? Was he like, ooh, I'll make the popcorn, then just never came back? What? Was I right? I mean, Noelle loves scary movies. You didn't watch any with her? Hey, it's all good. I'll teach you. You're buying the tickets, though. Be pretty funny to see you get jump scared, but we can't go in there. We're banned. I was feeling like the eyeball grapes or whatever, and Noelle just put her hand in the bowl and started holding mine. Again, role reversal. Noelle's the one being confident and starting it. Yeah, they banned us for that. Sucks. It's kind of funny. Nothing scared her at all. Even me. Dude, let's lap up the orange goop together. Bet it tastes like the clay from art class. You would know what that tastes like. Wait, no. Noelle's dad could see. I don't want Noelle thinking I'm a lapper. I don't know. It's not like an all the time thing. Just so with you thing that we never did before. So true, Susie. Hey dude, you okay? Shouldn't you be at the King and Queen thing? Me? No, I still got some lights to finish up here. You sure, man? Susie, it's better you learn sooner than later. Holidays are always full of surprises. Good surprises? Depends on which holiday. See, in the weird route, which would take place around the time of the lake scene, he's just resting, or he's just sitting on the ground. So does that imply that he just, like, literally fell down? Or is it just cursed that in the weird route he's okay, and in the normal route he dies? I don't know. I guess we'll find out in the future. And again, how different this chapter is makes it feel like, how does the aborted route possibly tie into the same? But I don't know, man. Stop looking at books, it's the weekend. That's unchanged. There's some dialogue here. Wait, move your foot. Dollar coin on the ground alert, idiot. I can get gummy monsters on my ice cream. So, Noelle, she, did something kind of funny earlier? I said I didn't have any cash for food, and she took out, like, a roll of bills. Probably like hundreds of dollars. And just held it out to me, smiling. I mean, I don't know if I've ever even seen that much money. I didn't take it. I said some cheesy stuff like, man, you could get 100 grape sodas with that. I don't know why, it just felt so weird. If you had $5, I'd expect you to buy me stuff. But I guess same back if I had $5 too. Nah. Again, there are multiple interpretations of that, by the way. Because my first thought, which is the more tame thought when I saw that, is that Noelle is just again, the whole thing is she's becoming quote-unquote stronger. She's becoming more confident and more impulsive. And so my first thought is that in the normal route, she's, you know, kind of like not acting like she's poor, but, you know, downplaying it or just acting normal, you know? Like, you go to her mansion in chapter 4 and she's like, oh, sorry, it's not much. Versus in this route, with her confidence, she doesn't care. She knows she has money. She thinks Susie could use it. Cool. She'll offer it, you know? I feel like that's the more, like, tame, maybe literal approach or interpretation. The other one is her impulsivity and her willingness to give her stuff away. That she feels she has no connection to her possessions and no reason to hold on to it. Which that one's a little bit more... I don't like... That one is getting into some more rough territory. Man. Even Ralsei was acting kind of weird today. Guess he was just worried you slept in? I asked if he wanted me to do anything, and he was like... He just got quiet and shook his head. Anyway, let's see him later, after other stuff. Let's hear Ralsei later, okay? Again, I ask, how does Ralsei know about the weird route? And why, like, what does he know about it? Because he never tries to stop us. And in Chapter 2, he doesn't act like he's aware of it. But in Chapter 3, when you say you're going to go to the festival with Noelle, he says, that's a bad idea. In Chapter 4, when he talks about wanting to change the prophecy, he says, how do we know it isn't something worse? And that is only on the weird route. And then there, he's worried because Chris is sleeping in and not doing the normal route stuff. And so again, like, he has some awareness and he is clearly worried about it, but in what way? You know, like, it's, I'm afraid of it and I'm, like, interested in it. Anyway, he's still here. Psst, no one's looking. Let's mess with the sign. Nope. Nope. Now people will think it's closed. Hey, thanks, miss. I was meaning to do that. Damn it. Hey, you want to mess with the sign again? Got some extra letters over here. Really? Even Q? I mean, no, we're not doing that. Awesome. Hey, are you the ice cream stand? Nah, that's next to me. What are you then? The ice cream stands. Okay. Can we get some ice cream? Can you fill out this card? Whatever. What do I put on it? Just draw you and your friends on it. That way I can give you a discount. So again, this is why I do not like the theory that this punch card proves that the weird route is canon to Undertale. Because not only are there a lot of ways to either justify or just factually have only 3 people on the normal route punch card, but in the normal route, he says, draw you and your friends on it so I can remember you. In the weird route, he says, just draw your friends on it so I can give you a discount. He doesn't say, so I can remember you. And you could say, oh, well, he still does that. But just the wording of it, like, I will say, to be fair, this either way, no matter which route you are in, it is a canon required event to go talk to Sans and do the punch card. And so that does leave the door open that either route can be canon because this happens regardless. But with that said, I think it just makes more sense and is worded in a way that works better for the normal route to be the one that's canon, and the weird route just falling in line because, you know, one ending, whatever, and so the same events have to happen. Alright, whatever. Here, me, Chris, and Rolsey. I know he can't use it, but I gotta put him on. Thanks. So I know he gets some ice cream. Whoops. I don't have any. What do you mean you don't? But the sand will after it finishes churning. In the meanwhile, why don't you take this? You got the bread. Bread? Why do you have this? To make ice cream sandwiches. That's kind of a good idea. Guess I gotta wait until the ice cream's done. I'll walk you to the beach, though. You know, when you want to go. Bread. A loaf of bread tends to leave crumbs wherever it goes. Couldn't. Hey, don't eat that. Save it for later. You know, ice cream sandwiches. I do really like the fact that bread is Weird Route exclusive, which means for a 100% run, people need to speed run through the normal route and then also get through the entire Weird Route just to get bread. That's a really funny fact to me. Like, the run is really long just because of this one item. This house, it's pretty new, right? Don't really remember what was here before, though. Oh, so you've forgotten. Interesting. Dude, Temmie left all her art crap. Let's draw in her sketchbook. Hey, what? Her art's like crazy good. Man, even when she's like good at stuff. Even she's like good at stuff, huh? I like your art too. Yeah, she's a genius. Me when I just want to brag about the artist that has worked on my game with me. Yeah? I mean, it'd be stupid if he didn't. I guess Temmie can live. For now. Damn, no one's home. Even this one's empty. Dude, now that Noelle's not here, we should totally get a hose and fill that cup. No further plans. Dude, stop making that further plans face. What does that mean? Damn, that annoying lazy guy isn't even here. Yeah, I am. I'm just lying down conspicuously out of view. The hell are you doing that for? Eating raisins face down on the floor. Ugh, can't really blame him for that. Why aren't you in the ice cream stand? Can't really eat ice cream face down on the floor. Damn, I hate when he's right. And we go up a layer, and we don't have many other layers to go up. Notice how there also are no saves. There's no option. Because a save would typically be here. Or like here. But nope, no saves. And we're back to the top. Ever wish you could just be in people's houses? Not like stealing, just like looking, seeing their stuff. It's cool when people have stuff. Like, look in the window. Scale trimmer. You could use it on your hair. No interaction from Metaton. Everything smells nice, right? Come on, smell it, Stinky. Flowers are boring. What? Well, how'd we get there? Looks like your dad's in there. Guess we don't need to hang out with him. What? You want to hang out with the flowers? Yes, please, I'm begging. Hey, check this out. Rosé showed me how to make this wimpy crab. Yeah, it was stupid anyway. Flowers are boring, I guess. No interaction with the truck. I love how it's just sometimes you can interact with this. That's true, but it's probably already in there. Because in the normal route, it's there when you're walking around, but then it's gone when you come back from the lake. And so I think it's the same. That it's just the same timeline. That it was there earlier during the festival, and then around parade time and stuff, he took it inside. So I think the timeline is the same. But yeah. Anyway, I think we've done everything, unfortunately. Alright, done with the festival? And again, like I talked about in the normal route, if you haven't gone and talked to Sans, when you get to this point, Susie says, hey, we can't leave. We haven't even gotten ice cream yet, or whatever. And forces you to go back and talk to Sans and do the punch card. So, yeah. We're done. Okay, then. I gotta go wait for the ice cream, so... Guess I'll see you later, huh? Chris, I'm not good at saying this stuff, but... Even if we didn't really do anything, it was nice. Seeing the festival with you. And stuff. I know me and Noelle are getting kind of close, but you're still a big deal to me, too. So, cheer up, okay? See ya. And as I have seen mentioned, that's what Chris needs in the normal route. Chris needs that. But it only comes in this route. When did she smile? After the sun went down, or before the sun went down. Where did it happen? At the lake. Are we ready for this scene? I'm not sure. The shadow all-encompassing. It doesn't quite completely gray them out, but you can't see any detail. By the way, absolutely stunning animation on her. I also do want to make sure to point out here, no talk sprite and not her voice. Noelle is not talking right now. Noelle is thinking. She knows she doesn't need to talk for us to hear her. Chris, I know. I know you wanted to deny it. I did too, at first. But eventually, we're going to have to face the truth. Yesterday, when everything happened, every cell in my body was screaming at me to run away. That if I stayed by your side any longer, you were going to drag me down with you. Drag me down somewhere no one is supposed to go. And you know what terrified me the most about that? The slow turn. I think I want that. And that's the first time she actually spoke out loud. Chris is probably very confused because they can't hear her like we can. Since Des left, all I've been doing has just been marching down my path, staying quiet, getting good grades. It feels like I've just been watching myself through glass, watching someone else move me through my life. That's why I want to do something crazy. That's why I want to break free. But I can't. I couldn't. Because I'm just Noelle. A Noelle that has to do Noelle things. Just like Chris has to do Chris things. But Chris, you changed. Her hair just being so messed up. Chris, you actually changed. Also the talk sprites. You found out how to stop being Chris, and no one else has noticed. Because they don't want to. They don't want to see how interesting you are now. They'll just keep marching down the same path without even thinking where it goes. Chris, being around you is changing me too. Chris, when I cast No Grave, I felt stronger than I have in my entire life. I know, it's horrible. It's horrible to say that, but... Oh yeah, because she's like... It's the same as her voice shaking. She's like kind of yelling and like kind of breaking down. Chris, if it's you telling me to, I can do anything. Jevil quote. Just for like a break from this. If you tell me to, I can do things that are impossible. Things no one else can do. So, why don't we do it? Why don't we do something crazy? I also really like the detail. I almost pointed it out, but didn't when she knelt down, that her shadow is affecting Chris's lighting. And honestly, that probably could mean something. Because here, she's talking about doing something crazy, and as she moves closer to Chris, they are completely taken by the shadow. Chris is not the focus here. It is Noelle that is the focus, and Chris is just a shadow. Tell me. Tell me to grow wings. And let's fly out of this stupid town. To somewhere no one has ever been before. The other side of the lake. We always wanted to see what was there, didn't we? The four of us when we were kids. Chris, let's go there. You'll tell me, won't you? If you tell me to, I can do anything. So, tell me, Chris. This is about to get a whole lot harder to voice. The words I've been waiting to hear. The illusion of choice, by the way. Again, we're going to go through this to abort it after we do it, hopefully correctly, but this is the illusion of choice. The water's nice, isn't it, Chris? Going kind of far out. Chris, don't hesitate. It's colder than I thought. Oh, down they go. Now there's no option, truly. Chris, don't let go of my hands. Just keep walking. Chris, just keep walking. Chris? Chris! Oh, the talk sprite changing. Hmm. 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 Chris, you can still hear me, can't you? Chris, keep saying it. Chris! Chris! Say it! And it keeps getting more distorted. Chris! I almost kind of messed it up there. I'm just continuing to press it in case I need to. Nope. Yep, we did it right. Insert chapter 7. Side B. No chapter 6. Straight to 7. And so then the question, what just happened? And I'm back on the chapter select. And by the way, no star. I don't get completion data for that. No completion data, no save file. It does create a flag though. I'm pretty sure my save file is now flagged with side B, I believe. So, yeah. At first, I was definitely with the literal interpretation of, oh, they just drowned. They just walked into the lake and drowned. But especially, I have begun more and more to believe that they, like, glitched through the lake into the dark world. I think I am more and more believing that. Because that, I think, makes the most sense. Because how, like, say they drowned, how does that possibly continue? Especially with the insert chapter 7 side B. I think because, as Flowery said, well, what Onion says is he thinks he hears a song coming from the deep. And then he says he thinks he's heard the song before. Or they, I don't know. I don't know what Onion. But that's what Onion says. And then they disappear. And then in chapter 4, if you go and sit by the lake, Susie says, I think I hear a song coming. I think she says from the other side of the lake. But again, hearing something. And I think I just today saw people mentioning in chapter 4, Normal Route, when Susie and Noelle are talking about the movie or whatever, they hear a song from the basement. And then you tie that. Flowery talks about a great darkness under the town. What I've talked about the last few days about, or yesterday's stream mainly, about stabbing down and then jumping down into the dark world. I think they went down under the lake and managed to end up in the dark world. Because I think chapter 7, we are probably going to end up in the bunker in the dark world under Hometown. And so by doing what Noelle and Chris just did, they managed to glitch their way down into that same dark world, be it in a different way, which is how it's the same chapter. It's still chapter 7, but it's side B, because how you got there is entirely different. And I think that is really cool and really interesting, and I'm excited to see how it pays off. Now, with that said, we're going to kind of do it again. Like I said, I'm going to abort it, because I love the cutscene that plays when you abort it. Which is kind of easy to do, because basically, you just need to keep pressing proceed. If you don't press proceed fast enough, the screen fades to white. And even when the screen was completely white there, I was still continuing to press it. Chris? Chris, are you feeling alright? I know it is the weekend, but you have not left your room all day. Yeah, we're going to press C. We're not going to do all of the same dialogue. We're just going to go straight to the... Well, we're going to go to Sands, because you need to do that, and then we're going to go to the beach. We're going to skip our way through this. But, you know. Off we go. This cutscene is really cool, and I haven't watched... There are theories about a third route, because when you abort this, how is it like the same route, you know? Anyway, off we go. Susie will follow. Yeah, this route is... This chapter of the weird route is so unbelievably well done. It's so off-putting, and it's rough. Do we get bread? Yippee. Okay. We have bread, now we can go. And I'm gonna skip through it. I also, again, I didn't really emphasize the parallel. Like well, I'll wait. We'll get through this. Yes. We'll get through this, and then, because there's a pause after this scene. And then I'll talk about it. Because we gotta get through it. We gotta get there. This is also a forced slow fade out. You can't move, you can't do anything, can't skip it. You just wait, and then you fade. And here we are. I don't think I commented on the fact in the normal route, I think you are very low health. I can't skip through this any faster than this, by the way. I'm holding C, and then I'm pressing Z as fast as I can. And you can't press X either. This is forced pace. I think it will eventually be skippable, or at least parts of it, but... They really make sure she's talking slowly to just emphasize the moment and the emotion of it, of course. Also, her saying, drag me down somewhere no one is supposed to go. And then what they do is they go down to the bottom of the lake. Okay, take us to you talking about Des. Oh, well, she has to say I want that. Yeah. Now we go to the scene. This music is also very effective. Also very good, but very good and yet in a very off-putting way. As is a summary of the entire route, of course. Also, the fact that specifically Des's room is interesting. It's not her room, it's Des's room. Like, did Des do something similar? Because again, we don't know what happened to Des. It feels like Asgore is talking about it, like with his tragedy and trying to prevent any more. It feels like he is talking about Des, but we obviously don't know what truly happened. Even the voice is different there. Fair. That is interesting. The fact that some of the time when her voice is shaky, it sounds different. And I wonder if that's just, like, meaning her yelling. I mean, that's possible, for sure. Could be Carol holding it. There's no point. I've been holding C. I can't skip any of this. There's no point in doing it. This is all paced out. imagine making a scene like this so that someone just holds C, just goes, yeah, just drown yourself already, jeez. Yeah, get to the point. Just get to it already. God. But again, I draw the parallel. That I mean, I have nothing else to talk about, but especially since we start to walk out into the water. Compare this to the scene with Susie in the normal route. Again, it is a similar idea. Going out into the water, beginning to do things that you're not typically meant to do, beginning to actually enjoy your life for what it is. And yet, the toxic version versus the healthy version, where Susie leads Noelle there, and it's slow, but it's gradual, and it gets there. The player in the weird route forces it, and it leads to an unhealthy extreme. Also, remember, throughout this entire route, pretty much, you have needed to say proceed. And if you don't say proceed, it cancels it. And Chris backs off, and Noelle says okay. Here, it gives you the option. Say stop or say proceed. After Noelle has said, when you say it, I can do anything. And so what if we choose not to? No. You're supposed to say proceed, right? Just like all the other times. Stop pretending. I know you remember too. The water's nice, isn't it, Chris? Why are your hands trembling? Chris, you're the one that wanted this, aren't you? Stop pretending you're still the old Chris. You can't even say stop like you used to. Chris, don't hesitate. Proceed. Proceed. It's colder than I thought. And now it takes the choice away like it does in the normal route. Even if you try to stop it, you've gone too far and Noelle just takes control. So now we're forced to go with it. Chris, don't let go of my hands. Just keep walking. Chris, just keep walking. Don't worry, we are still going to cancel it. As insane as it is to say you can cancel it from this point, of course. I think it's at this point you can cancel it. Yeah. If we don't press anything. At any point when it starts to fade to white, you can cancel it. If you just don't press anything for long enough. I was wrong. The dream never happened. Chris hadn't changed. I hadn't changed. I had simply gotten carried away. When did you say you made up that song? Okay, now you do one. Me? Okay. Oh, French fry on the floor. It's you that I adore. Greasy and salty and lots more? Dude, you could be like a pro music guy. It's never really been my talent. Really? Because even when it's dumb stuff, your singing's... I really like it. Thanks, Susie. Man, today was probably one of the best days ever. Nothing changed. I thought it was one of the best days ever, but I guess it's still getting better. Noelle? Nothing changed. You mean like ran away from home? And it specifically cuts to this line, by the way. when Noelle wonders what would happen if she left. And after you abort the weird route, it specifically cuts to this line. I guess. But I'm too weak to do that. Nothing changed. What? It's... you were calling about... Dad? Nothing changed. Because a Noelle is just a Noelle. And it forces us to sit with the waves. Oof, it's so good. I love that so much. It's so well done. Hey, you okay? Phew. Wasn't even sure if you were alive for a sec. Me and Noelle, we kinda ended up, you know where she is? I went to get some ice cream for her and she's just gone. I want to go look for her, but I don't know, you don't need to be here alone, right? She's worried. Get up. Let's go. I'm not. I didn't in my normal save. I'm just gonna play it out normally. But, because the thing about the weird route is the weird route isn't a no mercy route. It is specifically a make Noelle stronger route. And so there is no requirement to not mercy. And so I still mercied everything I could, which was everything outside of chapter 2 and even some things in chapter 2 obviously. So, yeah. Again, and that kind of adds to the route, I feel like. Because yeah, you can just go, "Oh, we know mercy whatever." But I feel like it really adds to the impact of the route because when you go mercy, it really adds to the you are pretending everything is okay. You are forced into a feeling like everything is normal, even though you know it is not. And that, I feel like, just goes with exactly what the route is supposed to be. HP 20 out of 20. Nice. Oh. Chris failed. Okay. Obviously, we need to go Zorgon mode. I move faster on diagonals. Oh, no, I think I just started being able to sprint. Okay, you good yet? We can go. I feel like I'm fast. Zooming. True. Oh. You don't need it again, dumbass. I don't know why, but I was really worried about you guys. You were both acting kind of weird, and I'm just glad you're okay. I probably said something weird again. Let's go, okay? Hey, Chris, mind if I stop in here a sec? This is familiar. Hey, in fact, nothing changed. So this is where, like I said, I'm just going to get to a save. I'm going to save. And then we're good. I don't need to play through Chapter 5 again on stream. We got 10 hours of that in yesterday. I'll just probably, speed through it some other time. Off stream. Eventually. Just to have the save file. Because I don't know if it is different. But in some ways it has to be. Also, yeah, that is true. There are 2 trash cans, so it is different. This one was just there. Okay. Because we talked about that last time. So, yeah. It isn't the trash can from the truck. We're going to hold C. We don't need to read through all this. It's the same cutscene. By the way, it's weird that we don't see Chris on the right side of the building, assuming that they had to go in through the back door, but I don't know. They're just like that. They just hide from our detection. We are going to have to see Flowery's intro again. So I hope you're ready. I still love that animation. It's my Girona. The main... I mean, I guess I could stop here, but we can go. The last main difference. Level 5 Shattered Rose. Only one knows the rose's meaning. That's the same. I don't think the guts is different. I think that's because of my items. I do also really like still that Chris has -2 magic on this playthrough. That's very funny. I'm a big fan of that. Even if I get... Well, I mean, I guess I will get better armor. But yeah. I'm going to want the 10... Oh, no, because... The Tenetai itself doesn't have the ability, right? You can make something. I don't think the Tenetai resists cat on its own, does it? Like, I don't think it'll be good against pink on its own. But if you make something with it, then it's good, right? Because I know you can make something with the Tenetai, and that's good. But you obviously need to go to Castletown to be able to do that, and you can't do that in the weird route. So, I don't know. I'll play through it, I'll figure it out. Moist earth blooms before you in a path of magnolia and rose. You're filled with a certain power. Bang. Yeah, because weird route, they really just hate you. You can't get the deal maker, you can't get you can't make anything with the Tenetai, can't get the mannequin, you can't get any of the cat resistant items. Unless I'm missing one. So we are gonna go through this. We'll get to the save after we have Ralsei. So we do have to watch this. I mean, have to is a strong word. We are privileged with the ability to watch through this. Why did he have to do this? Why did he have to do that? What forced him? Huh, I'm cutting off the voice clips. Yes. The power of obligatory flower man. It would have been really funny if in this chapter every save point talked about determination, since it's
sorry to keep you waiting.
Since it's the like equivalent.
Mysterious wind.
Mysterious wind.
Flowers blooms in your heart.
Can he push him off screen while I'm still on this? Yes, he can. I love how the light goes away. I was wondering because there's a later cutscene where he can't walk off screen. Okay, off we go. There's a different thing if you don't interact with it, right? Or else it just falls out. Hey, Chris, I just realized. Where the hell is Ralsei? Good timing. Hey, Chris, you're okay. Now that's interesting. Hey, why are you in there? Oh, that stupid flowery put me in there. Yeah. Chris, you're okay. That's different. Again, Ralsei, what is your awareness of the weird route? But Chris, I'm just happy you're okay. I hope we can have a great day today. Hey, go back a sec. Since when do you call people stupid? Sorry, I mean, he's actually probably pretty smart. Yeah, I mean, he did go to college. He did not go to college. Yeah, that's different. One second. I just want to see. I want to just know. Okay. So yeah, that is different, and then there's just one later scene. So I don't think there's any point in playing through it beyond that. I'm happy I played to this because I wouldn't have realized that conversation was different. But beyond that, there's one scene later. I think it's when we chose to hang out with Ralsei in the like hot pools at the end of the left side yesterday. If you instead choose to talk to Susie, she then talks to Chris about her relationship with Noelle, which allows you options such as no one gets between me and Noelle and whatever. And that changes the text. So that scene is different. Outside of that, the chapter now plays normally. Hey, Flowery.
My favorite too. Flowery.
I'm legally obligated to not press C through this so you can still hear the voice clips.
Hey there, little guy. Sorry about that, guys. Yes.
No other dialogue, just the voice clips.
You're dead. Sorry about that, little guy. Flowery.
Now we can press C. Okay. And here's our save point. Okay. I don't think I need to play through more of this. Because, again, I would have to get quite far. And I don't know if I don't feel like it's necessarily interesting content for me to spend probably still like a pretty substantial amount of time to try to skip through to get to one more scene of dialogue. And even then, like, you know, there are multiple choices and whatever. We're not going to see everything. So I streamed the whole chapter. Like I said, I was planning on this being a shorter stream. I feel like we've kind of done what we need to. Return? No, yeah. There's no quit from here. You just save and you press escape. And that's what you do. I don't know. I guess I could sit on like the... Yeah. And even still, I just don't feel like it's interesting content. Like, I don't think there's a point in it. Like, even if yesterday was like a 7-hour stream, like closer to chapter 4, which was 8 on my first playthrough, it's still like part of why I played through the weird route, like the chapters fully last week, was as a reminder so that I could play chapter 5 normally. But because I literally just played chapter 5 normally, I don't think there's a point in basically just playing chapter 5 normally again today. And if I'm just skipping through it, then like there's no interesting content there, right? It's just sitting there, maybe talking as I get through it. So, I mean, now we can talk openly about the game though, because until next year, we have played everything from Undertale and everything from Deltarune. So nothing is spoilers at this point. Now there is like awareness and stuff because, you know, we didn't read through the Spamton sweepstakes, but those are a fact that's there. We haven't talked about Gaster, but that's a fact that's there. This is true. Aqua never did that. So I am very interested in what is going to happen in Chapter 6. I am very interested because it feels like... Now, I don't think I really had a chance to say this, or I don't think I really did say it at the end of yesterday's stream. I don't really like the criticism that Chapter 5 didn't progress the story. I think that is a criticism because your expectations were too high. I think it felt like Chapter 3 and Chapter 4 did so much so suddenly just because of the end of each chapter. That Chapter 3, you suddenly get to see the knight. Chapter 4, you suddenly get to see a titan. And so people are expecting just full fast pace, etc. But I think that is just not appreciating, first of all, what this chapter is meant to be, because Pebble is right that Toby said, one last fun adventure. You know, it's kind of a quote-unquote break. But at the same time, you're just wrong if you say this didn't progress the story. I mean, first of all, Susie and Noelle grow closer. Second of all, you get further into the characterization of each character because Flowery pushes them on that. How do they feel about love? Rolsei actually showing negative emotions and showing his fire magic. Rolsei continuing to try to be more honest. You know, all of these things continue to be there and continue to grow as more of these characters. Then, even from a more literal sense, you learn that there are dark worlds a long time ago. You learn that the same shards of the Knight's Sword that exist with the new fountains existed with that fountain a long time ago. You learn more about the tragedy of the past, although we don't learn specifically what it was. And hey, I saw someone say something about like the talking about, or I don't even remember, but I just saw this happening. People, you know, at the end of chapter 4, the guess we didn't make any progress toward the bunker. Tomorrow we have to do something. And hey, guess what? They got a code to the bunker today. There are 3 codes and we got one of them. You know? So like I feel like there was so much done to progress the story. It just wasn't as fast-paced, insane reveals. It was just more standard storytelling. And that's okay. I think the thing about this chapter is that it is the longest chapter, and it is entirely gameplay. And so you can't really skip through it as fast, and it takes a while. But I think it kind of earns that runtime. So, well, we know one. We know part of a second, but obviously it was 122. It's 1225. But as we know from Asgore's code was 8 characters or 8 letters and 8 numbers and was seemingly a date. And so we don't technically know what the date for the other one is. We assume it's 1225. It's most likely, I would say, 1990X again, but we don't know. And then we have no lead truly on the third code. It's something to do with the church. Toriel might know something. Alvin might, but I would be surprised. It could be related to Gerson in some way. Like, there are a lot of places the church code could be. We just don't know. But as far as mysteries for next chapter, what is Noelle's mentality going to be? Especially in an aborted weird route, which is again going to be how does that work? But just how does Noelle's involvement happen? How does it work? Then what is Sham going to do? Because we bring him the last shadow crystal. Then what are the eggs going to mean? Because we have all of them. So what else is there now? What are they quote unquote evidence for? Then where is the dark world going to be? Like, there's so much. I said this yesterday. Every chapter, outside of, I guess, chapter 1 to 2, but everything since, from 2 into 3, obviously into 4, and then into 5, all of them hinted at each other. But now, we have really no idea where chapter 6 can be. Like I said, I probably expect chapter 7 to just be like the bunker. This is true. There is a crafting recipe that got added, I believe, in chapter 3. Well, it'd be chapter 4, that you can you get the twisted sword that you get by fusing the thorn ring and something else, which would be exclusively for if you abort the weird route, which also requires Noelle to be in your party again, which is going to happen in chapter 6, as we now know. But the other thing I wanted to talk about while we're here is the sword route, right? Because the sword route obviously paralleled through chapter 2, but then at the end of chapter 2, we got she was used up. Then I believe you were used up. Then we got the shelter key. Then we went down into the shelter, and we ended up fighting Eram. And so that, I feel like, is even more evidence that the she was used up you were used up would be Chris and Noelle going down into the lake and that being their key into the shelter because they end up in the same dark world. But either way, just that mini game is kind of like a scary parallel for what we're going to have here. But, there's that. So, I am just very interested. We're going to continue to see a lot of theories. Again, we're going to continue to ask, where is Gaster? When is he going to pop up? What sort of characterization are we going to get with him? And unless the theory is right about there being a third game in the series, we got to get some closure on him. It just has to happen, at least to some extent. But, it is an interesting waiting. And like I mentioned yesterday, Toby has said in his newsletters that Chapter 6 is an easier chapter to make, which now makes sense because, again, no Shadow Crystal, no Egg, no Weird Route. And so obviously you still have the fact of aborted Weird Route versus normal, which feels like they can't just be the same. And then you still have to have a chapter. But at the very least, that takes out a lot of the variants and stuff that you had in previous chapters. So, I don't know. That's concerning. Then we didn't actually get a release date on the to be continued screen, but on the frequently asked questions on the page, it does say they're aiming for a 2027 release. And so they're aiming for next year, but maybe they aren't quite as confident about it that they didn't actually put it in the game to show the release date, which I don't know. We'll see what that means. But I am interested that I want to know what exactly the Weird Route ended with. I want to know how that is going to tie back into the normal game. And then I'm just excited to see what they do. Because, again, recency and just honestly, I don't really know how to rate Chapter 5. But I feel like at the very least, you're wrong to say that each chapter hasn't continued to go up and up in terms of quality. That I definitely, my rating of the first 4 chapters is reverse release order. 4, 3, 2, 1. 100%. And then 5, somewhere in the top few, for sure. I don't know if it's my favorite. It might be. Chapter 4 appeals to me in such a way, but Chapter 5 is just such a ride and so well done. So, it's tough. I would say those two are probably my top 2, though. Some way. And, yeah, I am interested to see, again, how they tie these loose ends. Because December started as something, just a name that got mentioned a lot in the early chapters, and has obviously grown more and more a big part and a big mystery. And so we need that payoff still. We need the Shadow Crystals. We need the ending of the prophecy. There's so much we're waiting on, and I'm just interested to see it. So, I'm not sure if there's anything else I still need to talk about. I think we might be just about getting to the point of wrapping this up. But this has been a ride. I don't know if I can disagree. I really like how Chapter 4 progresses Susie, and I really like just the characterization of it and the storytelling of it, which is obviously the focus of the entire chapter. It is prophecy, and it is all about the story and characterization and progression, and I really like that. With that said, I like Chapter 5 for again, it kind of leans in the into the direction of chapter 2 a little bit, with the like almost comedic relief character of Flowery that hangs around, kind of like Queen. Then you also have the Flowers, who are fantastic characters. Then, like I have made a point of, it does actually do quite a bit for the story. And then I think it is a fun chapter to play through. I think the one point that is maybe against it, like I said, is that it is an incredibly long chapter that you might get some value out of actually taking like a pause and splitting it and playing it through multiple, like 2 different sessions, instead of just blasting through it like you can the other chapters. Like, chapter 5 is at least twice the length of chapter 1. And so it's just kind of like, okay, it's a ride. And I think, if anything, that probably speaks to its positive. It is just a different gameplay experience than the other chapters, because you actually have to kind of take your time through it, instead of just expecting, okay, I'm going to just go through and beat this real quick. And that being said, of course, like I did beat it in one stream, as I think did a lot of people playing it, but it is a ride to get through it. And yeah, I don't know. It just, I feel like I enjoy it, and yet I struggle to just immediately be like, yes, favorite. And so that's why for now I at least put 4 and 5 in a bubble. That definitely those are my top 2. And the order could probably change, because I really like the emotion and story moments of chapter 4, but I feel like as I have more time with chapter 5, oh yeah, especially because we're already at what, 35 hours of gameplay? And if they continue to be similar in length to chapter 5, or even somehow longer, then that's going to be like a 50-hour game, which ain't that ain't short. That ain't short. So, of course, everyone goes through it differently. You can go faster, or you can struggle on the secret bosses and take longer. But either way, it is not short as is, and it is assumedly only going to get much longer. So, I think this is already an incredible experience, and I am just so interested to see how they wrap it up over the next 2 chapters. And yeah. Well, true. But these chapters at least can. And also, we don't know, right? Because I think these games benefit greatly from the existence of the secret bosses. And I feel like now, of course, if they just focus on the progression of it, it probably is okay. But I feel like it would kind of be it would be a pretty notable loss to not have the secret bosses, because I feel like this game, like the same thing, you think of Undertale, what do most people think of first? Sans. This game, the Knight, Jevil, Spamton, even Pink from chapter 5. Like, you think of the secret boss, because the secret boss becomes an interesting character and becomes the challenge of the chapter. And so I do kind of hope that they find a way to work in that type of interesting battle. And at the same time, there are people who probably wouldn't want to do that. They're content losing to the Knight. They maybe aren't as good or don't care to try to beat these secret, harder, optional bosses. And so I don't know if it is the best idea to just force a Knight-style battle to just be the real final boss. But at the same time, of course, by chapter 7, you can probably expect someone to have the grind in them to try to beat that. So, I don't know. I think it's a good luxury to have these challenging bosses be an optional thing for people to push for and try to find and all of that. But obviously, the shadow crystals are done. And so they would have to find some other justification to make it happen. And we'll just see if they do. Because that is another mystery. What are the shadow crystals going to be? And are we truly done with secret bosses, or what are we going to do going forward? That too. That too. Except of course Pink doesn't give you any. Well, I guess she does give you the flower items, right? The flower gear. But you don't get something necessarily just for winning the fight. You have to then do more work to get it, which is different. But beating Pink does unlock the ability to get those items, which are almost certainly worth it. So, yeah. But I don't know. I think that's just kind of the summary of looking forward. I don't know, but I'm excited. You know? Like I said, the wait between chapters 3 and 4 and chapter 5 was literally just okay. It's festival day. We're going to have a Dark World in Flower King. What else is going to happen? What are we going to do? And then because we're in Flower King and we know that the flowers were in there, we're like, okay, we're going to have a Flowey probably, etc. So, like, we knew a lot of the outline of what to expect. And then it just became, when the chapter released, Toby flipping those expectations into surprises while still also meeting them. And so now, at least until we get more newsletters and more hints, we have no idea. We know that it is going to get real. We know that this was our one last fun adventure. We know Noelle is going to get involved. But we have no idea. What's their plan going to be? How are they going to get the code from Noelle's house? How are they going to get the third code? What are they going to do? I feel like that's going to be chapter 6. I feel like chapter 6 is getting Noelle into it, getting Noelle's second code, and then finding the third code. And then chapter 7 is going to be getting down into the bunker. And maybe we get into the bunker in part of chapter 6, and then it cuts off once we do. Or maybe we have to get the third code and do the bunker in chapter 7. I don't know. But there's part of it. I mean, we're going to get more Birdly. Now, I don't know, because again, that's the other question. How does aborted Weird Route Birdly work? How does that happen, right? Because the aborted Weird Route has now fallen into the same path as the normal route. But how is that going to work with the fact that Birdly is still hospitalized after getting snowgraved? So I feel like at least in chapter 6, we're probably going to get more Birdly because we're exploring the light world at least to a point. Chapter 7, I don't know. I don't know how that'll... I have no expectations for chapter 7 right now. I have no idea how we're going to get there, what point we're going to have, any of that, you know? But we're going to see, right? We're going to have to wait, and we're going to find out. I'm going to go ahead and flip over to this. Leave the ambience. Just because, again, I don't immediately know of anything else to say. So if we have any other things to say, we can. But then we're going to flip. I was tabbed in, so the arrow keys switched me back. We're staying here. And I'm going to leave Deltarune open so we get our beautiful ambience. Our ambient droning is what keeps us locked in. But I don't know. I'm just interested. Of course, hoping we don't have to wait too long for chapter 6, but as we have seen in previous chapters and all of that, they are certainly not unwilling to take their time and release it when it's ready, and they are also certainly not unwilling to give us 2 weeks of lead time between the announcement and the release. So I assume we'll probably get like at least 2 or 3 more newsletters, whatever, before it comes out. And then we're going to see. But I think that just about does it for this. So this is a shorter stream. Should be a lot easier to have to timestamp for the YouTube, because I feel like there's like 5 timestamps. and that's good. I do still have to timestamp the chapter 5 10-hour VOD. Probably do that tomorrow. That'll be a process, but hey, that's good. We'll get there. I did all of the other 11 streams. I can do that one. I do. There's basically nothing on it, and it's just gonna be VOD archive mainly. I'm not really planning to do anything else with it, but yeah, it's just VOD archive mainly. It is. Yeah, it's VOD archive, but uploading it and then timestamping it, whatever. And so, as of now, because I have it scheduled so that one VOD goes up a day, I think today the third part of the Undertale playthrough went up. And so the 4 videos of my Deltarune revisit from a month ago, before Chapter 5 released, and then the Undertale are public. So then the next few days are going to be the 4 parts of my Weird Route playthrough, then the 2 Chapter 5 ones. So that'll get there. But then that'll close the book on this, as I've said several times, 13 stream run. That I don't know what or when or where I'm gonna stream at this point. I got like 2 more weeks or whatever that I could, and so we're just gonna see. We're gonna figure it out. I might like run a stream a random night, some other game. We'll see, but no plans at this point. We've played through UT, we've played through DR. Nothing else to do in those games, at least for the moment. So we'll figure it out. We'll see. And so, like, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you to anyone who has stuck around through this. If you're on Twitch, the YouTube's there, or else, thank you as well. I've just kind of been talking. I don't think I need to keep just talking. So, again, thank you to anyone who stuck through this ride. Don't know what else will stream, don't know when, but that does it for now. So, thank you to anyone who's tuned in, and that's it for tonight.